here are some of those details, right? That next weather tower, it's blue now, and we're going to be changing that to green coming up here shortly. The next weather alert is in place for tomorrow. I would say the next weather alert starts at about midnight tonight, and we'll say that's for western Minnesota because snow will be pushing into the western part of the state first. Storm's going to bring in the snow west to east. Now, when it comes to the morning commute, this is where I think things get dicey. If you have to be on the roads tomorrow morning, we're looking at the potential of a 1/2 inch per hour snowfall rate for the metro region, and then that's even up to 1 inch per hour for locations like central Minnesota. That's out closer to Alexandria.
Okay.
And so that's where the morning commute, I think it's just going to be tough. You got to give yourself extra time, extra room, and it's just going to be slow going. For the evening commute, the snow will be tapering off, or at least it won't be as heavy, but winds will be up a little bit. So that leads to that visibility issue, and of course they're still cleaning up the roads. So I think that'll be an issue for the evening. And then of course we have the cold air that will follow that, and that'll stick around going into the weekend. Now we have issued that next weather alert for tomorrow. Right now the National Weather Service has not put out any weather alerts yet. It's just too soon for them. They just have the winter storm watch in far western Minnesota. What I anticipate to happen is a winter weather advisory will go into place, and that'll be across the metro area, and they'll probably pull that trigger coming up here sometime today. So let's time it out here for you. Next, future radar, you can see the storm blowing in from the west. Now also notice how it's not across southwestern Minnesota. It's a lot across northwestern Minnesota, and this has been consistent in our forecast models, meaning unlike yesterday's weather where a lot of it was across southern Minnesota, they're actually going to miss out on a lot of this. So this is midnight. As we go into the morning, well, this is early 3 a.m. So this is for, me who's like, can I get out on the roads ahead of this? I'd have to do so pretty early. I'd have to get
you're thinking like 3 a.m. you're leaving?
Well, yeah, probably.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's either that or leave late tonight. It depends. I don't even know when I get off tonight, so we'll see. Looking at, but so this is before the morning commute. It's tough, right? And then as we start to head into the morning commute time frame, it includes the metro, and also keep in mind those deep purples. If you look at the scale there, you have white, which is just snow, and then the purple color, that's where you're looking at the heavier snowfall, moderate to heavy snowfall. That's at 1/2 inch per hour snowfall rates where it's kind of hard to see because the snow's coming down.
Scary.
Yeah, and so we're seeing that right at the morning commute time frame. So that's another reason we have that next weather alert. So this goes through the morning commute. It's just going to be tough for the metro and across the northern part of the state. And then once we get past lunch, notice we start to get either a break in it or it's just kind of tapering off and not quite as heavy. So by this time, I still think, evening commute, they're still cleaning up the mess. Winds will be up, so any snow that's out there is blowing around, so that causes an issue. And snow's still tapering off. There's still snow in the region. So that's going to be something that we'll be watching until we go through tomorrow night. And then this is probably the biggest question a lot of people ask.
How much?
How much?
How much snow?
How much? Yeah, that's the $350 question sometimes. Here's one of our forecast models, and this one is pulling that 3 inch around the Twin Cities. So overall, not too bad, but still enough to where you're going to have to shovel. Maybe some people are doing the snow
blower, you think?
Well,
maybe?
Look to the north of I-94 there. See 5, 6.
Yeah.
So we're looking at about 3 to 6 inches north of I-94. St. Cloud, Hinckley, that's where you're closer to that 5 to 6 range. So that's a possibility there, and that would definitely be, plowable snow.
Okay.
Metro area, we're looking around that. I would say 3 or 4 inches, and then off to the south, Worthington, less than 1 inch. So that's where it really tapers off with those amounts. And if you're really curious, there's so many people in Minnesota are really in tune with the weather. You kind of have to be to live here, right? So I'm not too scared to show you this. This is our forecast models. On the right and the left, it shows a high-end potential and a low-end potential, and then what our forecast is. So you could see it could change. Of course, a change in the storm track means those higher amounts that we thought were going to be north of 94 could be over the metro, or displaced somewhere else.
I see.
And that's something that becomes a little bit more clear over the next, as the storm system approaches. So this gives you an idea of where you could see those higher amounts. So that dark blue on the far right of your screen, that's 6 inches, right? And that's even into the north metro.
Right.
So that's a potential, right? But it's still a little bit more likely further to the north. And then the left side of your screen is the lower end of seeing any of that snow, and that's about 2 inches or so. So that's why we're kind of right in the middle with the forecast, about 3 or 4 inches here in the metro.
That makes sense. Okay, I did just buy a new snowblower.
So are you excited?
I'm a little bit excited to break it in, right?
I will tell you, I bought skate skis.
Oh.
I moved here, never did it in my life.
I've never done it.
You moved to Minnesota, you gotta embrace
That's true.
it.
You gotta embrace
And so
it.
I bought those. I bought them before last winter, and guess what? No snow.
So you
I'm
haven't even
kinda-
used them?
I haven't. So
Okay.
I'm right there with you. I'm kind of excited. This will be our nice
Yeah.
first widespread snow.
And Alicia she's a producer here for the live desk, and she is from Florida, and so she's excited for the snow too.
Okay.
And she just moved here as well, so you know.
We'll see if she is after the system.
Yeah,
We'll check back
exactly.
in.